to bring to a close the exercise that has exercised our minds and the minds of millions of voters around Kenya and the minds of thousands of aspirants, MCAs, women reps, members of parliament, senators and governors around the country. Let me take this opportunity to thank God for giving us the wherewithal for us to put together this piece of work. Let me also congratulate our members of the NEC who participated in ensuring that we have an election board. And let me take this opportunity in a very special way to thank our National Election Board, led by our very able chairman, Anthony Mora, his deputy, Umi, Salome, Chacha, Chimera, and Aurelia. These great men and women have done a wonderful job. Congratulations. And my good brother Dita, sorry. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the Hustler Nation, millions of members of the United Democratic Alliance Party across Kenya in 36 counties participated in these nominations. They came by with solutions, even when we had challenges in many areas. They gave suggestions, they gave us insights, they made recommendations so that this election can be delivered. It wasn't just the work of the National Election Board, it was the collective effort of the membership of UDA. And I want to say to all of them, thank you very much and congratulations, and thank you for participating. Let me also thank our aspirants, the 5,000 plus men and women who stepped forward to participate in this exercise and had the faith to take on the responsibilities of leadership. I want to thank them for being patient, and the overwhelming majority of them for being peaceful. This exercise has gone on, and I want to say largely smoothly. We had hiccups in the morning. I know the members of the National Election Board, I left them in the office at 2 a.m. last night, and when I came back, they were still there this morning. They have done their utmost to put this piece of work together. Let me thank our aspirants. Many of them, although all of us know that elections are very emotive, they are very involving, engaging, financially, emotionally, physically, and I want to thank them for being patient. Many of them have been patient. When some polling stations opened late, they were patient. And I want to say the exercise has taken place in 16,000 plus polling centers. And we have had challenges. We've had to postpone a few areas that the chair of the board has announced here. And we've had challenges in between 100 and 200 polling centers out of the 16,000. As we talk in this press conference, there are areas in Nyandarua, in Embu, in some parts of Kiambu, in some parts of Bomet, that people are still voting, to demonstrate the overwhelming support that this party has received across Kenya. Many of the activities have gone on smoothly, sometimes unnoticed, in Kilifi, in Mombasa, in Kwale, in Kisii, in various parts of Western Kenya, in Busia, in Kakamega, and many other parts of Kenya. And I want to say I am a very proud member of UDA, because today we have demonstrated that it is possible for a political party, young as UDA, to deliver credible, believable, democratic, free, and fair elections. Not to understate the challenges that we had logistical issues that came up. Many of our transporters were experiencing challenges of fuel across the country. In fact, our budget on transportation had to be doubled because many of our suppliers who had given us quotations could not deliver the ballot boxes at the agreed prices, and therefore we had to re-engage, renegotiate, so that we can have the delivery of ballot papers and ballot boxes to the destinations at the polling centers across the country. Largely, that contributed to the delay, the logistical challenges that we had as a party, but we are happy that in the midst of the fuel crisis in our country, UDA has managed to deliver this election. I want to thank our transporters. Many of them were understanding, and many of them went out of their way to look for fuel for them to deliver the materials that we had. This exercise has reinforced our belief that the foundation of our country and the foundation of the politics of our country should not and should never be around personality cults or ethnic mobilization. It confirms our belief that to be able to transform our politics from personalities and ethnicities to the realm of issues, agendas, and a plan is to have a national political party like the United Democratic Alliance. I am very proud today that the national elections, the nomination exercise that has been carried out across the country, now places the United Democratic Alliance Party as a national party, and our plan going into the future, the bottom-up economic plan, our plan on the issues that we have canvassed across the country, is what not only attracted the 5,000 plus aspirants, but the huge majority of people who turned up to vote in this nomination exercise. In some polling stations, in Ruai, in Mwiki, we had to add additional staff because initially we were planning for 2 streams, but we had to extend it to 10 streams because of the overwhelming numbers of people who turned up and who have been listening to us prosecute the agenda that we have for our nation. And they are now firm believers that it is possible to take Kenya to the next level. I want to say that it's on that basis that we not only have had big numbers of aspirants coming to participate in the UDA nominations, but also the thousands upon thousands of people who have queued today to vote for their preferred candidates for the August 9th general elections. I am very confident that the balance of the exercise that is remaining, in a majority of the areas already results are streaming in. The counting process, the tallying process will go into the night and possibly into early morning tomorrow. We will begin to receive results, and the headquarters is prepared to receive all the results that will come from the counting of the ballots, the tallying of the ballots that will go on in our tallying centers across the country. And let me also say that many other agencies have really been very supportive. Let me congratulate our police. They came through in many parts, except in minor isolated areas, which we had challenges. But by and large, I want to say a very big congratulations to our police force for the professionalism they displayed in ensuring that this process goes smoothly. Let me also commend many other people, heads of schools, heads of institutions that facilitated the processes to go on. We had challenges in some of the institutions, but that did not deter our members and our returning officers from improvising. Many of you may have noticed that in some areas, this exercise was going on in a marketplace or some of the places in a tent somewhere, makeshift tent. But all in all, this exercise has gone on smoothly, and we have successfully delivered a nomination exercise that is actually a near general election. In terms of statistics, we have delivered almost 60% of what the IEBC does, with 1% of the budget of IEBC. We will be very happy to share this experience with IEBC. Maybe they will have something, one or two things to learn from us on how to deliver such a huge process with cost effectively. But again, let me also thank the many people who turned up to make sure that this exercise succeeded. I did undertake to the aspirants of the UDA. I met all the 5,000 aspirants twice, and I committed to them that I will take personal responsibility of ensuring that the nominations are free, fair, democratic, verifiable. And today, to a good extent, that exercise has succeeded. When I said that I would do it, I would take personal responsibility, it didn't mean that I was going to do it myself. And I want to say the institutions of UDA have actually succeeded in delivering this process. I have been there for them, and I have provided the necessary backup as party leader and members of the secretariat led by Veronica Maina, who have been all-round present. Many of them have not gone home to change clothes. I have been around them for so long, and they have not been very comfortable because I have been pushing everybody. But let me say that the NEP, as an organ of the party, has done its job. And the oversight role that I have played is minimal compared to the work done by clerks, presiding officers, returning officers, members of the NEC who are here, and many other people who have helped us deliver this huge exercise. Let me also, in a very special way, thank members of Parliament of UDA. Many of them, we've had to deploy them in different parts of the country, those who are not participating in any nominations, and many of them have provided invaluable support to this exercise. Again, let me thank all of them for playing their role in supporting the exercise that has gone on in this party. Finally, let me also thank the members of NEC for their foresight, for providing the necessary guidelines to NEB, to the National Election Board, so that this exercise can be delivered. And let me also thank observers. We had close to 500 national and international observers from various missions accredited to Kenya, and many of them will be filing reports of us. They have already talked to us, some of them, and they have given their impression of what kind of exercise that went on, and to a large extent, many of them are positively surprised that this actually could happen in party primaries. I want to thank our officers on the ground. We have many CEOs on the ground, coordinators on the ground, party coordinators all the way to polling centers and wards and constituencies and in our counties. They have been huge support to NEP and to the returning officers at the counties and at the constituencies and the POs at the polling centers. Again, to them, I want to thank them in a very special way. So let me say that I'm a very proud Kenyan this evening that this exercise has come to a very successful close. From here now, tomorrow, we are a party that believes in democracy. We are a party that believes that violence cannot be in the equation of any operations in our party. And we have taken decisive action against any member of this party who engages themselves in matters conflict and matters violence. The party constitution, the nomination rules, provide for avenues of sorting out any disputes in a democratic manner, in a civil manner, and already the structures are available to members of this party who will not be satisfied with the outcome of the election for one reason or another. Mr. Emmanuel here, Emmanuel Mumia and his team, Mr. Kamodo and Caro, they will be here from this evening as members of our dispute resolution committee. They have already set up their structures, and any member of our party who feels that they have issues to raise about our nomination exercise, the dispute resolution committee is available to listen to each and every member in a peaceful way, because we believe that whenever there are disputes, they should be resolved without engaging in any manner of conflict or violence. So I am urging all our members from across the country. If you have any issues, please let us channel them in the most respectful and peaceful manner to the party organs that will sort out whatever issues there are to be sorted out. Let me also say that there are areas that were postponed. The chairman of the National Election Board has already informed the media, and they have made the decision, which they asked me to communicate, that all areas that were postponed will not be done tomorrow. They will not be done on Saturday, but they will be done on Tuesday. And that is to provide members of the board to make sure that the necessary preparations are made, new ballot papers are printed, and new material is prepared to make sure that that process also goes through smoothly. Let me also say that I was following, and one person said that maybe we are pushing this exercise to a day when people cannot go to court tomorrow. Let me say this for the record. The processes of the party are available from tonight, and they will be operational through Easter. So any member of our party who has any issue can file their matters with us, because in any case, before you go to the next level, you have to go through the party processes that have an appellate process that will make sure that all the issues are sorted to the extent possible within the structures of the party. Let me say I am truly, truly grateful to the millions of UDA members who today braved early mornings, took their time to vote for their preferred candidates, and it is because we believe that this party must provide the standard for what a democratic party would look like. And I think we are blazing the trail. We are asking our other competitors to be kind to their members and provide an opportunity for their members to choose leaders in their parties instead of issuing direct nominations left, right, and center. I think democracy is about the people. And that is why we are firmly believers that at the center of our agenda is the people, not the leaders. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? I can answer one or two before I ask Mr. Mwaura or a member of his team if they have any matter. Tuko na maswali?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy President. My name is Zainab Ismail from NTV. So we were making rounds through different polling stations across the country, and there were concerns that there was no voting in some of these polling stations. And let me just get this right. One of those polling stations was in Kariako, the social hall in Kariako. There was no voting that happened there. And even away from that, in Kahawa Ward, there was also no voting taking place. There was also an incident that was reported at the Kasarani police station, allegedly of a presiding officer who was injected with a substance that induced sleep. So the ballot materials were destroyed at that point. So, of course, we would just like to hear what, if you've received such information, and what is the party doing to handle this matter?
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, as I told you, we have close to 200 different polling centers where we had challenges. In some of them, some ballot material, ballot boxes were destroyed. And that's why I was saying that out of the 16,000 plus polling centers, about 200 we had challenges, and we have filed reports. Those areas, we are going to repeat the nomination exercise in all those areas. We had challenges in Starehe, which we are assessing, whether to repeat the whole exercise or to repeat the exercise in just those areas where there were challenges. The same thing in Kamukunji. We again had incidences of ballot papers and ballot boxes being destroyed. The board is assessing whether, to what extent, that has influenced the outcome of that election. And if it indicates that it has substantially dented the credibility of the election in that constituency, then we are going to repeat the whole exercise on Tuesday. But if, again, we assess that the results can still stand, even with the 2, 3, 4, 5 polling stations that were affected by incidences of violence, then the exercise will go ahead. And that assessment is going on, and shortly the various constituencies will be informed. Okay?
Thank you. I'm Julius Otieno. I work for the Star newspaper. I just wanted to ask one question, DP. And the question is about you say that all the nominations in areas where they did not take place today will be pushed to Tuesday next week. And I also heard the chairman of the complex committee saying that those people who are aggrieved have like 48 hours to file a complaint. Thereafter, the respondents have like 48 hours 24 hours to respond. So if elections are held on Tuesday, 48 hours after that will push it to Thursday, and then the respondents will file theirs by Friday, and then the deadline for submission of these things is Saturday. Don't you think you'll be pushing those people who are aggrieved to the end of the exercise, whereby they may not have that opportunity to maybe seek redress?
Thank you very much. The reason why we are pushing the nominations, the repeat nominations to Tuesday, is because we want to provide sufficient time for the disputes to be resolved. Because initially, there will be more than when we are doing, because you understand that the Tuesday exercise will be maybe 10%, maybe less, maybe 5% of the exercise that we did today. So the Tuesday exercise is going to be much smaller. And therefore, even if there are disputes out of the Tuesday exercise, they will not be at the magnitude at which the exercise took place today. They will be much, much smaller. And therefore, the time that it will take to resolve those issues on Tuesday will, I'm sure the chair of the disputes resolution committee would be able to speak to that maybe in a better way. But it just means that whatever disputes will arise from the Tuesday exercise, which will be 5% of the exercise we had today, would take way a shorter time for us to resolve and be able to do whatever it is that needs to do. Bear in mind that there are alternative processes. After we've gone through the nomination, there are also alternative processes of how to arrive at candidates looking at various other parameters that is at disposal of the party to make decisions on which candidate to field. You also understand that the whole exercise is manned by human beings, and sometimes we've asked for extension of time. If we will have a critical issue that requires a bit more time, a day or two, it's possible for us to talk to the ORPP and to talk to the IBC to give us a day or two for us to resolve those issues, because all these institutions are run by intelligent people, and they can be able to make a decision as to whether we have a real credible issue or not. Yes?
Naibu wa Rais, ujambo.
Jambo.
Naitwa Boni kutoka Eru TV. Kule Meru, eneo bunge la Northimenti, nafahamishwa kwamba shughuli ya kujumulisha kura imesimama kwa sababu makarani Sema kwamba hajapokea malipo yao kwa ambayo ni ya siku 3. Sijui kama hii habari imewafikia, na kama imewafikia mnachukua mkondo gani? Swali la pili, ningependa kujua pengine shughuli nzima imechukua ama imewagharimu pesa ngapi hivi?
Of course, in a huge exercise that involves close to 50,000 people being paid, you understand that there could be a few areas where payments arrive not in good time. We have issues like those that have arisen, but as and when they have been brought to our attention, they have been resolved and payments made. You also understand that we are paying through the digital platform because it's the easiest way to deliver payments to Kenyans, as we all know. And some of the time, there is a mix-up of telephone numbers, and sometimes money go the wrong way, and we have to trace it and take it to the right place. So minor issues like that have come up, and our team at the Secretariat have been very useful. I want to say Mulili and his team, they have done a wonderful job. They have really delivered on making sure that 99% of the job is done. As to how much this exercise has, I think there have been figures in the newspaper, left, right, and center. I have told you it has costed us 1% of the budget of IEBC. Maybe you should check the budget of IEBC. Okay? Are there any other issues? I think I have been thoroughly clear. So, asanteni sana. I wish you well. And thank you. Sorry, I forgot. Let me thank the great people of the fourth estate. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you very much. I mean, the media has been our partner. You have reported the good, you have reported the bad, you have reported everything in between, which is the essence of good reporting. So you have done your job, and we appreciate that. Some of the time when you made negative reports, it helped us to sort out some of the issues, some of the challenges that were in those areas. And when you made, did they make any, I think they made some good reports as well. But you made accurate reporting, maybe. You did some accurate reporting in some areas, and we sincerely appreciate that the media has informed the country, informed our members, and helped us in this process. Asanteni sana. Tuwapige makofi. Asanteni. Thank you very much. Okay? So, Mr. Maura, do you have something to say about the exercise?
Your Excellency, it is not always somebody talks after his boss have talked. So, I feel humbled, and I think you have said everything, and you have shown us the way. You put the parameters too high for us, but I think you have managed at least to be close to that % of whatever you wanted us to do. Thanks so much, and may God bless you.
I think Maura, although he's saying whatever he's saying, many of the things that he did, I must say, Maura was outstanding. I think everybody agrees that Maura and his team were really outstanding. They worked under very minimum supervision, and they did their job the best way that anybody would have done. So again, to you, Maura and team, and they were never influenced by anybody. They were really firm. And at some point, Maura was telling me, I have met so many enemies, but if it is for the good of the party, then it's fine. And I think this has come together, and many members of this party will come to appreciate that it was necessary for the NEB to do what they did. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.